One of the most important decisions you make in Fallout New Vegas is where to put your special stats. But in this run, I don't have to worry about that since all of them will be set to 1. The rules for this run are pretty simple. My special stats must be at 1. I can use clothing that increases them, but only if they are needed for a quest. I can also level up any skill that isn't one of my special stats. So with that out of the way, let's get started. I awaken Goodsprings, name my character 1 stat man. I make my character and look around for stuff. Then I go pick my special stats. I take every point and put them into strength, luck, and endurance. Then I use console commands to set those 3 to 1. I then pick my tag skills, which will be guns, sneak, and medicine. As for my traits, I pick hoarder and hot-blooded. I get the Pip-Boy from the dock and check my special stats to make sure they are all set to 1. Once I'm done with that, I head out into Goodsprings. As soon as I get out, I notice that the animations on my weapons are super slow. It makes me freak out a little. I look around Goodsprings for items and quests since I wanted to level up as much as I could so I was able to kill the Legate. Since I won't be putting any points into speech this run, I needed to get stronger. So first I head to the abandoned schoolhouse and clear it out thinking I could get to the safe inside. But all my skills are too low, so I just loot what I can and head to speak with Sunny. I go clear the geckos with her, I get my reward, and make my way back to Goodsprings to do the quest with Ringo and the Powder Gangers. I then speak with Ringo and recruit Sunny. I talk with each of the townspeople for help, but most of my skills are at 5, so I was only able to get the Metal School surprise from Doc Mitchell. I then head to tell Ringo that we are ready. As he's leaving, I steal the 9mm ammo, since due to my low stats, I feel like I just have to shoot a bunch to do damage. The Powder Gangers weren't that hard to kill, and while fighting them I leveled up and put all my skill points into sneak. I picked the confirmed bachelor perk, and then made my way to Prim. At Prim I hope to do more quests and level up. On my way to Prim I spot a Powder Ganger, and since I'm low on health due to my special stats, I put on their armor and sneak attack him. I then run into even more near Gene's skydiving and also deal with them. I get to Prim and take care of the escaped convicts outside of the casino. I go into the Bison Steve Hotel inside the casino. I try to use stealth as much as possible, since having low endurance makes me have very few hit points. I can't take many hits, so I try to make most of my kills stealth kills. After dealing with them, I free Deputy Beagle and head back to the outside. I speak with him about getting a new sheriff for Prim and start heading towards the Mojave outpost. On my way to the outpost, I clear at the highway patrol station. I take the star bottle cap even though it's useless. While I'm nearing the outpost, I sell some things to the merchant. I accidentally paused the recording while I was at the outpost, but basically due to my low skill and almost everything, I didn't pass the speech check for the NCR to help me with getting Law back to Prim. So I decided to get the sheriff who's with the Powder Gangers. But apparently my disguise didn't fool the guy at the front, so I had to take a couple of them out. And I'm not sure what these guys were made of, but after multiple shotgun blasts to the face, I finally cleared them and spoke with Myers. He asked me to speak with the NCR to get him pardoned. I agreed and head back to the Mojave outpost. At the Mojave outpost, I pay Major Knight 200 caps to get Myers pardoned. At Prim, I speak with Myers, complete the quest, and level up. This time I put all my points into guns and pick the cannibal perk. Since I would constantly run out of healing supplies because of my low health, it was convenient to just be able to, eat people. I then start making my way over to Novak. On my way, I run into this guy. Shoot the helpless Powder Gangers because why not, and then watch a merchant caravan manhandle a Legion squad, and then my game crashes. I then run into some Viper gunslingers, but they did that to me, which I'm pretty sure is my first death in this run. I get my revenge, I pass by Ranger Station Charlie, and I finally make it to Novak. I greet Victor and pickpocket May Crawford's keys. Inside the dinosaur shop, I steal everything useful, including that gun, and head up the stairs to speak with Boone. He tells me about his wife, and I already know May Crawford is responsible, so I steal the bill of sale and tell her to follow me so Boone could shoot her. So I put on Boone's beret, and pop goes the weasel. I go to speak with him again and show him the bill of sale as proof and recruit him as my follower. I am for some reason very excited and contemplate shooting the store owner for no reason before changing my mind. Or did I? I then went to speak with Manny to do his quest. I noticed the unique dialogue from having the confirmed bachelor perk. He offers to give me information for free, but the reason I was talking with him wasn't for information, but it was for his quest, so they ended up being useless. I once again accidentally paused the recording since my game crashed. I went to the Repcon test site and went to clear the Nightkin for Jason and his followers. I leveled up and once again put every point I had into guns and head back to Jason to continue the quest. He tells me to speak with Chris, and Chris tells me to go get the parts for the rocket. I buy the thrust control module from Old Lady Gibson and get the igniting agent from Mr. Radical's corpse. I go back to Chris to turn in the items, and I head over to the launch button. I mash the keys at the navigation console hoping it will make them crash, but it seems they launched just fine. But I guess karma struck for trying to make them crash because my game crashed just as I tried to leave. At least completing the quest gave me enough XP to level up, so I put all my points into guns again and choose the shotgun surgeon perk. By putting most of my points into guns, I wanted to at least try to have a fighting chance against the Legate once I finally confront. I then start making my way to New Vegas. I stopped by the gun runners to buy more ammo. I ran into some free tag thugs, but compared to my last run, this encounter was way easier. I made my way to the front gate of the strip and passed a credit check. Once I get into the tops, I completely forgot that they would take your weapons away, so my original plan of blowing everything up was gone. So instead, I take out one of his guards, take his weapon, and use that weapon to kill Benny. After killing a few of Benny's guards, I level up and again put all my points into guns. Choose the Bloody Mess perk. I level up again and also put my points into guns. I then had to speak with Ambassador Crocker, because for this playthrough I'm fully siding with the NCR. He tells me to speak with the Boomers, I agree, and start heading to them. On my way there, I again stopped by the gun runners to pick up some more ammo and some weapon mods. Once near the Boomers' territory, I killed George since he has a good amount of caps on him. I then die on my first couple of tries of getting past the Boomers' bombardment, and almost every time I reloaded my save, my weapon was bugged. Once I make it past the bombs, I get taken inside to speak with Pearl, and I agree to help her and her people. I first speak with Raquel, and she tells me to take care of the ants in the generator room and restart the array generators. I stop by the medical station, but once again I am unable to do anything because of my low skills. I then go speak with Pete, sit through the entire history of the Power Gangers, and when I finish with that, I finally head to the array generators to clear out the ants. I kill the ants, restart the generators, and head back to Raquel to report my success. After I'm done speaking with her, I let Boone go since I felt I no longer needed him, and then head to speak with Jack. I help him meet the girl he's been admiring with his binoculars, but when she gets there, he does not seem to pay much attention to her. After completing this quest for him, it still wasn't enough to get the Boomers to idolize me, so I steal a bunch of their own scrap and give it back to them. I go turn in the scrap to Jack, and it's enough for me to continue the quest and start helping them raise the bomber from the lake. I speak with Loyal and Pearl and head to the lake. At the lake, I don't know if the Mirelooks are just super strong or if I'm just really weak, but they take me out quickly with only 2 shots, and my abysmal reloading speed certainly didn't make things better. While fighting them, I level up and get my gun skill to 100, so I put the rest of my points into sneak. I choose the Here and Now perk and put even more points into sneak. I then raise the bomber from the lake and head back to Loyal. He tells me to speak with Pearl, and after speaking to her, I complete the Boomers quest and have them help the NCR. I head back to the Ambassador and tell him that the Boomers will help the NCR, and then he tells me to kill Pacer. He's some King's member that's been harassing NCR citizens. So I walked inside the King's building following Pacer to his room, and when he least expected it, I gunned him down. I accidentally paused my recording again, but basically I go back to the Ambassador and he tells me to speak with the Colonel at Hoover Dam. When I speak with the Colonel, she tells me to go deal with the Great Khan. Once I get to the Red Rock Canyon, I try and sneak around because I thought they didn't like me, but they didn't seem to mind my presence, even though they probably should have. So I just go inside and speak with Papa Khan. I ask him to break his alliance with Teaser. He refuses, so I put them all to sleep. After I finished with that, I leveled up and dumped all my points into medicine since I kept running out of stim packs and wanted to get more out of them. I also got to choose a perk, so I chose the And Stay Back perk since in the future I wanted to use some shotguns. And on my way out, I got a little hungry and got a quick snack, alright? I report what I did to the cons to the Colonel, and she didn't seem to mind. She then tells me to go investigate the Omertas because they seem to be planning something against the NCR, and we can't have that. While on my way to the Omertas, this Freeside thug tries to rob me, but for some reason he's scared of me and runs away. But if I were someone else, he would have robbed me. so I felt that was enough reason to give him a stern talking to. I also saw that his buddy watched the whole thing nearby, and I spoke with him as well. Before going into the Emeritus Casino, I'm told by this woman to call in a tip with the receptionist. So I get to the casino, they take most of my weapons, and I speak with the receptionist. She tells me to speak with Kachino. Once I find him, he's very rude, so I steal his journal and use it to blackmail him. He then tells me about some guys named Cherokee and Clarendon. I first head to speak with Cherokee and ask him about some gun shipments. I also tell him I'm trying to ruin the boss's plan, but he refuses to help me since the bosses have dirt on him because of some suspicious incident, so he's binded by contract. I tell him that I might be able to help him get out of his contract in exchange for his help. I then start heading to Clarendon and my game crashes once again. Once I get to Clarendon, I speak with him, but he doesn't tell me anything of value, so I kill him. And then head to speak with Big Sal about Trophy. I end up paying 300 caps so that he's released from his contract. I then go to inform Kachino of what I did to Clarendon, and he tells me in order to truly make sure that the Emeritus plans are ruined, we need to kill the bosses, Big Sal and Nero. He then set me up in a room with them, where I have a shot at both of them. I use a gun I took from Clarendon and take them out. I speak with Kachino, he thanks me, and I head back to Hoover Dam to report to the colonel. I inform her about the Emeritus plans and that I stopped them. She then tells me I need to take out Mr. House. This part was fairly simple. I kind of just walk into the Lucky 38, shoot some robots, and kill Mr. House. Also, right after I killed him, I leveled up. I put all my points into medicine, and on my way out, I guess the Securitron stopped carrying him after I killed Mr. House, since they didn't try to kill me and let me leave in peace. Once back at Hoover Dam, I tell the colonel that Mr. House has been taken care of. She tells me about how the president is going to visit soon, and then tells me to take out the Brotherhood since their presence will worry her. I then head to the 188 training post to recruit Veronica. I can use her to get into the Brotherhood bunker. I don't tell her anything that might make her think that I dislike the Brotherhood, so she agrees to join me. Also, while at the training post, I buy some ammo from Alexander, and once we get to Hidden Valley, a dust storm starts and I can't see anything, so I went into the morning to find the bunker. Once inside, Veronica goes to the intercom to give her password, and just as they're going to open the door, Veronica bugs out and keeps repeating the same thing so the door doesn't open. And no matter what I did, she would stay in this loop, so I ended up just reloading the safe. Luckily this worked, and we entered the bunker. Once I got inside, I dismissed Veronica because I didn't need her anymore, and I didn't think she would be a fan of what I was about to do. I start collecting each of the key cards needed to generate a code from the terminal from each of the key card holders around the bunker. I then head back to where I killed the head scribe to activate the self-destruct protocol for the bunker. I then use the stealth boy to sneak out, and just like that, the Brotherhood is no more. And well, except Veronica. I'm not sure if she's still alive. I head back to the colonel and tell her that the Brotherhood has been eliminated. She then informs me that the president is going to visit and tells me to speak with Ranger Grant to discuss security. I go speak with him. He tells me the president will get here tomorrow and to tell him when I'm ready. I don't have anything to do, so I tell him I was ready and we waited until the next day. I speak with him again. He tells me the Legion is most likely planning something and that I should keep an eye out. And while the president was giving his speech, I see an engineer. I take a look in their inventory and discover a detonator. I then inform Ranger Grant, and he sends some rangers to kill the fake engineer. He somehow manages to kill one of them with his bare hands, but the other one finishes him. The president then nopes out of there, and I level up. I again put all my points into medicine because I'm low on stim packs. And as for my perk, I picked the Adamantium Skeleton perk. I don't think I've mentioned this, but I've intentionally avoided any perks that would somehow increase my special stats. I then report to the colonel to tell her that the president made it out safely. She then tells me to go speak with the general about some plans only he can speak to me about. The game then informs me that I'm committing to helping the NCR and that I cannot go back after I choose this option. I say I'm ready and speak with the general. He tells me about the plan to assault the Legion, but then someone interrupts to inform us that the Legion has beat us to it and began an assault on Hoover Dam, so I head out to confront them. Once I got to them, I started blasting. If I used my shotgun, most of the unarmored Legion soldiers were basically one shot, but the Legion Centurions were a different story. I died multiple times to them, and I'm not even sure how I got past the Legion ambush at the stairs. And the NCR soldiers sent to help me most of the time weren't much help since they were getting like two-shotted from the Centurion. But after multiple attempts, I finally made it to the outside of Hoover Dam. While on the outside, I get assigned a group of veteran rangers to help me fight, and we annihilated the Legion soldiers. Once we got to the entrance of the camp, I thought the Rangers would come inside with me to help out, but I guess they didn't feel like it, so I entered alone. I fought with more Legion soldiers. I then for the first time actually used VATS, and I'm pretty dumb since after realizing how powerful it is, it's basically all I did for the rest of the enemies inside the camp. It isn't until I reached the Legate that some NCR troopers joined in to help. Fighting the Legate and his two companions wasn't too hard with my more common use of VATS. As I was fighting him, compared to my last one, it was extremely easy. So I kill the Legate and then the General arrives. I speak with him completing the run and answering the question, can you beat Fallen New Vegas with one in every special stat? For me, this run might as well have been, can you beat Fallen New Vegas while being brittle and having terribly slow gun animations? Anyway, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe please. See ya.